if anybody has owned a 360 back in the day, it reminds me a lot. It plays similar to
White Knight Chronicles.
No. Yeah.
We're being funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lost Odyssey.
The way that you navigate ropes and stuff, like, watch, as soon as it's finished downloading for token, like, his face is already, like, not even focused, but he's just gonna be sitting there like,
I can't.
you can't, you're right, you can't.
I have to wait.
You have other things that you have to do. All right. So today we're actually going to explore Expedition 33 a little bit, its roots in Ubisoft. Then we're going to actually talk about what its success says about the state of the current AAA industry, and you know how games like this can change the landscape of gaming. So it actually has been,
Nothing.
So it actually has been quite a bit of a shakeup, considering that, from what I've read, the game has sold more than 1 million copies in 3 days.
That is crazy.
Okay. Now, we're going to start by unpacking what makes Expedition 33 stand out in today's gaming landscape. So Expedition 33, in case you guys didn't hear last week when we first started talking about it, is a game that was developed by Sandfall Interactive. It's a brand new studio. It is made of approximately 30 people. And those 30 people are ex-Ubisoft staff. Okay. Now, from the time that it came out, which I believe was last week, Thursday, it has actually achieved a meta score of 92 and a user score of 9.7, surpassing many AAA titles. There are actually not a lot of AAA titles that even get anywhere near that high.
I was gonna say, like, name one off the top of your head that hit over 90.
Zelda.
What was Zelda's
critic review?
Pretty sure it was Ocarina of Time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant recently. Like, I think
well, yeah, recently.
Like,
Tears of the Kingdom still at 90, like a 90 at both.
Yeah, you said over a 90, right?
Yeah, over 90.
Like consistent Zelda games, like they consistently score over 90.
And this one game that they made, 30 people made 30. I mean, more than 30 people in one day.
Now, I'm gonna get into a little bit more details, but it's actually praised for its emotional storytelling, its innovative turn-based combat, and its unique art style, which is actually inspired by the Belle Époque era.
Yep.
So
it's very much a French game.
Absolutely. Which is why we can believe that it's Ubisoft, because it is a French company. Now, with Expedition 33 having a team of 30 people, they also outsourced certain things such as animation, quality control, and music. Ooh. On top of that, with them having outsourced animation, quality control, and music, they also actually have kind of an all-star cast.
I want to know
who did the music? Who did the music?
Because these aren't
I'm not talking about the music. I'm talking about the voice acting cast. They got Shadowheart as one of the voice actors. So the person who played Shadowheart, they got the dude who played Daredevil as one of the voice actors.
I don't know how they pulled him.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Charlie Cox is
the main character.
Charlie Cox?
Yes.
Oh.
Which,
also,
funny enough,
they got Ben Starr, who was Final Fantasy 16.
Yep.
5. He's in the game too.
Yep. You got the voice actor from Final Fantasy 16. The main character from Final Fantasy 16 is also also playing a character in Expedition 33. Like, there's a lot of notable voice actors here, and the voice work is amazing. Like, just turning it on, like I don't really get much game time. Like, I've been quite busy over the past couple of weeks. I was preparing for a One Piece regional that I found out that I'm not even in. So, you know, I feel like a fool. Yep. But now I took a few minutes and I actually started up Expedition 33. I think there's something that happened in my game in particular because I am using an ultra wide monitor. So it's actually a common problem on ultra wides. Basically, after the first battle, the camera zooms in. So it's almost like an over the shoulder third person view instead of it being like you get to see your entire character. So it kind of zooms in a bit. So it feels a little awkward. I mean, I think I could still kind of get away with playing the game, but it can be a little
boring.
Huh?
I haven't run it. I'm on my
It was
ultra.
very jarring coming out of that first battle, having that camera zoomed up.
I haven't run that too much on my ultra wide.
Oh,
I have ultra wide too, but I
don't.
I think I only ran that like once or twice. Like they go into getting to another battle, kind of like sometimes it like just fixes itself.
Well, it happened in the intro battle where all of the tutorial is. So now I have to deal with, going through the game in this zoomed up camera state, and that felt weird till I can get to another battle. But again, it's indie, so I imagine that sooner or later they're going to release a patch that's going to fix something like that. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of want to give them an opportunity to correct things like that. Motion blur is also actually really bothering me a bit, and there is no setting to turn it down. Like when I start moving the camera around, everything goes blurry. But as you can see from my background here, these are some of the visuals from the game itself. It's amazing. Like it looks good. Like the game looks good. So if you think, and again, that turn-based battle system, because you don't just pick a move and it just does it. You pick a move and then you have to put like real-time button inputs in order to further your damage.
What?
On defense and someone is attacking you, if you hit the button in the right time, you can dodge or you can parry. You can get perfect dodges and you can get perfect parries, which will actually deal retaliatory damage. And so legitimately, like they have an interactive turn-based combat system, which is why we say that it's innovative and it's kind of like mind-blowing, because if you've never played a game like this, then it's very much so something that a person who is not used to turn-based games would definitely like. Yes, Craig, they got Charlie Cox. He's the main character in the game.
Yep.
Doing it. Hurry up.
I'm gonna tell you. So
Hurry up.
If anybody has owned a 360 back in the day, it reminds me a lot. It plays similar to
White Knight Chronicles.
No. Yeah.
We're being funny.
Yeah.
Lost Odyssey. If y'all have never played that game before, you're missing out because
which game?
Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey.
Oh, Lost Odyssey.
It's an Xbox 360 exclusive, and I guess Microsoft never decided to make that an official. So didn't they publish it? I forgot if they published it or not.
They published it. It was
It was the creator of Final Fantasy. That was his game.
Yeah, I just forget the name of the studio from back then. That was freaking 20 years.
He also did Blue Dragon as well too.
That
Blue Dragon, and then he also did Lost Odyssey.
We at 2%. Come on, let's.
I don't know
go.
why we're not getting like.
That was Mistwalker. Yeah, so people made last
Hurry
story and everything like that too.
It plays very similar.
What are
to
you
Lost
saying?
Odyssey.
Hurry up to, because we can hear you.
I think he's downloaded it.
Everybody.
Lost Odyssey was amazing.
I am.
Okay, so now we're going to ask a couple of questions about Expedition 33. First question is, what elements of Expedition 33 resonate most with players and critics? Or what do you think? Not what, because that would be a factual statement, and we're here to give opinions.
I think the combat.
Right.
I think that resonates a lot because it brings us back to like us growing up playing JRPG.
I'm going to lightly disagree. And the only reason I'm going to lightly disagree is because whilst the combat is very nostalgic and does give me reminiscence of like older games, I think that the story is the story and the graphics are very gripping.
There's
like,
that too. It's like a mixture.
Look at this. It is a beautiful game.
Yeah.
Like visually.
I won't take that away from it.
But that story, like most of the people who are in the turn-based combat are going to be in their 30s. And so now you have something that's literally directly going to relate to people who are in their 30s, considering that, 33 is something to do with the story and age.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Well, it's not like we're spoiling anything because that's literally what they tell you in the trailer.
Yeah.
The basic premise.
The age that everybody dies gets lower and lower. So that's literally like the whole detail of the game to let you know.
In the first trailer, y'all. So we're not spoiling anything. We don't know where the story goes to from there, but like the basic premise is that there's someone called the Paintress, and she paints a number, and that number is the age of the people that are going to die. That's the world that they live in. This is not a spoiler.
That is
So
just
33
wild.
is the age of the people who will die that year.
How old are you, Token?
Shut up. Shut up.
Be good. We somehow made it past that. Not so much.
Wait. So what about the people who were already older than that age? They just like died too.
They
They're
gone,
not
bro.
that
Wait.
They're not that age. They're good.
Yeah, exactly. Not that age. But yeah, so basically,
Uh,
Expedition 33 is the 33rd expedition to try to stop.
Are you sure?
Well, no. So the way it goes is there's an original Expedition 0, which is when the first Paintress thing happened. Then each thing has ticked down from 0. It should have been 100 technically, but it's been ticking down each year. So it's 99.
From 100 to 0.
Yeah. So obviously, like each expedition designates the age of the people that
are actually on
that
the
are now
expedition.
dead. So when Patriots hits 34, everyone who hits 34 years old is dead.
Okay, yeah.
And 33, so on and so forth. So basically, they're trying. Each
They're
expedition
on a
tries to
mission to stop the Paintress.
Yeah. Each expedition goes off to where the Paintress has manipulated like this island in like her own image and like warps it around and stuff like that. There's creatures she controls. But each expedition goes in to try and get further to figure out what's going on. Like you find notes from old expeditions and stuff like that, like audio logs and like things that they ran into, helps you find secrets for like hidden treasure and stuff like that, or just gives you more context on the backstory. But I think out of us, I'm the furthest so far. I'm like,
You're definitely first. I just started.
I'm like 5-6 hours in.
Yeah, I'm like 20 minutes in.
Same. I'm like 20, 30 minutes in.
I started the other day. When did I start? Like
I was trying to get in.
Saturday.
But like even with me starting it today, just some of the mechanics, the little grapple hook thing, the way that you navigate ropes and stuff, like watch, as soon as it's finished downloading for Token, like his face is already like not even focused, but he's just gonna be sitting there like
I can't.
you can't. You're right, you can't.
I have to wait.
You have other things that you have to do.
Yeah, like work.
Like work?
I have to wake up at 3 a.m. to go to work, and
That
I
sounds
just got
terrible.
I just got back home at like 6.
I'm just saying, you a dad now.
that this is
You're a
true.
dad too.
Yeah, he didn't. That wouldn't. That didn't even come up.
You gotta be a devoted partner.
This is
The fact
also
that wasn't
true.
his first thought was like, wow. Damn,
I mean, it wasn't my first thought because she's currently good right now.
crazy.
Okay. So now let me ask this. How does the design philosophy differ from typical Ubisoft titles?
You could definitely tell they weren't trying to match some aesthetic, because I think the only game that I would say this visually, how everything looks for
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yes, totally. No.
But,
I
mean, it is
No.
great.
game I talked about on the show before is Folklore from PS3.
Okay.
That's the only game where I've seen have this visual style of like these magical creatures, how the world looks, the characters look very similar. I mean,
the design does look very much so like Assassin's Creed Unity or was it Syndicate? Whatever it was,
Unity?
like it does.
like Unity, because it is very French based. Like
Yes.
historical
Even the names of all the people are French.
Yeah.
Like all the
Mm.
characters'
So-
names are French.
I 1000% like in my 20 minutes of experience feel like Assassin's Creed Unity resonated very highly, which is why that was my first choice.
Wait a minute.
No.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
You-
No, I was
you
just
know,
thinking. Because I was looking at it and I was like, ooh, what if this was mobile? I could play this at work, and I was like, it's on Game Pass. It's not on mobile. I was like,
I mean, you
dang
could stream it.
you could you could stream on
Yeah,
the
you
Xbox
can
app.
stream
I don't know
Game
how
Pass
well it works,
on the
right?
Xbox app.
Oh, bro. Oh, Lord. Why do we can't give him that power?
Or what you could have done
Oh.
too is get you a Steam Deck and buy it on Steam.
Yeah. So there's also All right. So there was also another
That was
detail
wild.
that I actually missed. And the fact of the matter is that in the first 3 days, like I said, they sold over 1 million copies, but their concurrent player count on Steam, and when I say sold over 1 million copies, I don't mean like Game Pass 1 million users. Like, no, they sold over 1 million copies.
Yeah, they don't
And
put out
on
numbers
Steam,
anyway.
they actually had a higher concurrent player count than Metaphor ReFantasio had when it first came out. And it's also a Game Pass available game.
Oh, I need to-
This is wild. I
Yes.
didn't know this was on my phone.
So, with that information and from what you've seen from this game so far, do you think this has the ability to be the next Stardew Valley or Palworld or Minecraft?
Oh, you mean in terms of how big it is?
They are indie games
Oh,
that were pretty much sleeper hits. They came out and they took the gaming world by storm.
So I hope so, because I definitely want to see more of this team, what other ideas they got, whether it be a DLC for Expedition or another RPG or some other genre game. I honestly think, like I said, I'm a few hours in, but like I don't see why, because the game just has been getting better and better with more stuff. Like they add more counter mechanics than y'all see at the beginning of the game. Like there's more stuff you get in the game, like as the hours go on. Obviously, you get more characters and stuff like that. But obviously, I think this is.
They had a girl with a scythe. That was enough to sell me.
Yeah, she's later. I don't have her yet, but I know you're talking about she's later on. But I don't see
that'd
why
be
this
enough
game
to
wouldn't be a Game of the Year nominee.
yeah,
Even though it's
this
early
is
in the
gonna
year,
be
I don't. GTA 6, but
Well, yeah.
but this. I mean, this could be an upset, like Game of the Year win. You never know.
So you literally just took my question away.
Oh.
Goaty material?
Yes,
Yeah.
easily.
With the rave reviews about it, there's no reason it would not be.
When have you seen?
I know a reason it would not be.
GTA 6.
GTA 6.
I just said GTA 6. Well, but I'm saying I can see an upset happening.
GTA.
Yeah, you got to remember, GTA 6 actually at this point has to deliver us the world.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
they don't, I can see this.
It's gotta be.
I can
It's
see this
gotta
squeezing
be.
on by Game of the Year.
Edition
I'm
33
busy-
Monster
you know what?
Hunter Wilds collab win. That's
I'm
crazy.
too busy being toxic.
Could you imagine fighting a Rathalos and Expedition? Nah, bro.
Listen.
That's
Wait,
crazy.
what?
I
That's
want.
crazy.
No.
Could you imagine Diablo, Devil Joe being the final boss?
No.
Mm.
No.
Your
Just get
final boss,
dragon-
is Angry
Just get
Pickle.
Dragon lightning.
Trying to fight the
rain on
creatures.
you.
Devil Joe pop. Trying to fight the
Buddy.
creatures where Zhang pops in. Like
Oh my God, nope.
I close
Nope.
the game out.
Nah.
That man's already closed the game.
No. Not doing this.
Some people
I'm
did
good.
some things to me with Rajang, and so me and Rajang got permanent beef going forward because they decided while we were on a hunt in wilds that they were gonna just, show up with a Rajang that was sleeping on the map somewhere.
That was Rise. That me and
I
APOD
said
did
that. I said Rise.
I said Wilds.
I didn't say Wilds. I said
yeah,
Rise.
you did Wilds.
Huh?
You
Profile
slip a tongue
system.
said Wilds with Rajang.
Oh, my bad. It was Rise. I know it was Rise because y'all was over there doing it. I was like, yo, y'all gonna make me fight this monster? Oh, no. We'll be right there. We'll be right there. We're on the way right now. And the next thing you know, there's a Rajang Super Saiyan hyper beaming me from behind.
That man said
To
hyper
be fair,
beaming me
it
from
was funny as
behind.
hell.
And they caught up with it and put it on TikTok.
Device and
It was
connection.
funny.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't think I can do it.
So is there
No.
more that you would like to see from this game in the future? Like I said, that was the question we never got to answer.
Depends how it ends.
Bit-
Yeah.
Being able to play it on my phone.
Depends how it ends. Like if
Oh,
it has a nice, tightly wrapped up story at the end, then I don't know if I'd want a sequel. Like if they leave it open, yes, give me more. But
Or-
I want to see like when games like studios knock it out like this, I would like to see their take on other genres of games.
yeah.
Like I don't want them to think they have to be like stuck in making this one type of game over and over again.
Nope. 100 humans IRL versus one Rajang.
Yeah.
Nope.
See,
Never.
See, this isn't like the stupid TikTok argument because hot take, 100 people are beating one gorilla. 100 people ain't beating one Rajang.
Bro, I hate that the video.
Especially if he turns fucking.
You don't
Saiyan
even have to do
Saiyan.
that. It doesn't even need to go Super Saiyan.
Yeah, it really doesn't. It really don't. You never
Bro,
know.
the
Listen,
second,
you laughing, but you ain't fault.
that Rajang grabs somebody and hits this move and hawks him, I'm good. Nope, I'm good.
That's not even the worst. There's so many ones that are worse though. Like the giant
That
flip
would be
in the
enough.
air slam.
That would be enough for me.
No, the worst move. Can you imagine being the first one seeing him grab the first dude, doing the lightning breath? Let's melt. Like you just being melted, held by Rajang.
I'm literally going, nope. I'm good.
I'm good.
That is the most disrespectful move
I'm out.
Rajang had. Like picks you in the face, just pukes lightning, melt breath in your face to melt you, then just tosses you like a baseball, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Who hurt you, sir? Like, why are we doing this?
Yeah, because every time I've ever seen Rajang, I'm sitting here like, who hurt you? Where is your mom?
And then Furious Rajang is worse because he doesn't
Nah,
calm
bro.
down.
Nah, bro.
He not calm down.
Nah, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, bro.
There's a reason why he's one of my least fought monsters in all the Monster Hunter games. That is not a fun fight.
Nope.
So when an indie studio makes a game like this, do they stay indie?
Unless they get bought out by a publisher.
What makes a studio AAA? Money? Resources?
Resources,
Money
and
and
I get
size.
Like how does
and-
a studio go from being an indie studio or an indie developer to being a AAA studio? You know what I'm saying? Like, Ubisoft wasn't always the big giant conglomerate that it is now.
I'd say an indie studio stops being an indie studio when they have, number one, have like big investors. That's one. That's a big thing too. Studio size is another one too, because you can't. I'm sorry, but you can't be an indie studio with like 3,000 people working at your studio. Come on.
So what size do we consider non-indie anymore?
I think once you're above like
500?
I would say 250.
I'm about to say that, yeah.
Because you gotta compare to some other, like, look at what another good studio compare this to is Supergiant Games. They Bastion, Hades, Transistor, everything like that. They've stayed indie since Bastion first came out. I think that studio only has like 25 to 30 employees, just like this studio does. And they've been consistently making well-received games for like almost 15 years now. But they've never been bought out, never been
Getting
invested.
bought by Tencent makes you AAA. Yeah.
I mean,
Or Microsoft.
From a money standpoint, yeah.
Larian is probably considered AAA at this point, even though their studio was only a certain amount of people. They're probably considered AAA. They have
I think they're almost 500 employees.
Oh, 500?
But they're almost 500, I think.
Okay. Yeah. The CD Projekt Red, would they have been considered indie with like with the earlier Witcher games?
I think so.
They're not considered indie with by the time Cyberpunk rolls around, no.
I think once you hit a certain, I think AAA is like once you hit a certain critical acclaim and people have expectations of you, and then how big your games get after a certain point. Because if you look at Witcher 1 compared to Witcher 3, like Witcher 1 is equivalent to like Diablo 2, maybe Diablo 2.5, because that's kind of how it played. But then you look at how Witcher 3 plays, and it's a completely different game.
Yeah.
At the scale. I think it just depends like how much money. I feel like I looked this up. Like, is there a good definition for AAA game studio?
I think if you look at the definition, it's literally all over the place.
It is kind of all over the place. But like, all right, so we call this indie and we're calling it AAA. For the people who aren't gamers, is there a such thing as AA? Is there how do we define like our gaming studios? How do we define, where a studio would be? Like,
according to the Wikipedia, AAA is a buzzword used to classify video games produced or distributed by a mid-sized or major publisher. AA is typically game studios tend to range from 50 to 100 people in size. I don't know where they got the numbers from, but
so indie would basically be considered AA. So what's underneath AA? And why can't we have B tier? Why can't we have a C tier?
I don't know.
Oh, the
Not everything can be quadruple A like Skull and Bones, though. You gotta remember.
I mean, you know, especially when you go quadruple A and fail like Skull and Bones. Also, that would probably be also a game that would.
Look, they play the goddamn same.
I mean,
for Witcher 1.
Yeah, but Skull and Bones is another game that I probably would say have been better if it was made by an indie studio.
Yeah.
Like how he's shitting on The Witcher and he's never played The Witcher ever.
You can't take what Loki says seriously.
Palworld is an game. Hero was good. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Palworld I guess is an A, but like, you know, that studio also is larger now, and they're still devoting their
Don't
resources.
they also have some kind of thing with Sony going on?
Yeah, that's what when they made that weird announcement that Palworld was coming to PlayStation, they were like, "Oh, we're partnering with for future content or something like that."
Right. So
yeah, something like that.
Now let me ask a question. If Palworld now partners with Sony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does that become a AAA game?
Only if Sony,
or is it because the game released during the?
It doesn't, because Sony didn't publish it. If Sony publishes it, then yes. If Sony publishes it and puts money in, then yes, that becomes a AAA game. But if they don't, then it's not. In my opinion, it's not. I don't think it is.
Okay. Okay.
That's just them in a partnership, but that doesn't mean that Power is now a AAA game.
Yeah, but if they go on,
it also extends the budget too. Budget
right.
spent on game.
But they're still putting stuff into this game. They're still putting money into this game. They're still developing. They're still making more DLCs. They're still going forward. So
yeah, but that's not the initial
budget.
Like,
would that transform Palworld from an A or a AA game to a AAA game? Would it, because now they got Sony money.
Curb Stomper, like the sequel probably.
You see what I'm saying?
Curb Stomper in the chat said the sequel will probably definitely be AAA, most likely because whatever they try to make their next project, it's going to get a lot of funding and be published by a studio. So most likely, Palworld 2, Electric Boogaloo, whatever they call it, will be AAA.
Yes, we're bringing back the Electric Boogaloo joke.
I've never stopped using it, so I don't know where you've been.
If Sony funds Palworld 2 or Palworld Dose.
See, this is the question. No Man's Sky went from indie to AAA through content, right? And we legitimately did discuss No Man's Sky. Like, what's the studio size on No Man's Sky right now? How much money has been put into No Man's Sky? That was an indie game.
Under like 50.
Yeah,
maybe.
According to Wikipedia, 45 employees for 20.
45.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that means that No Man's Sky is still considered indie, even though like they have so much more content. And are they procedurally generated worlds?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, No Man's Sky is still doing, like, they're still innovating in that field.
That's
but
they're still a small team too.
Yeah.
Another good game that not a lot of people played.
Yeah.
Called The Ascent. It's basically Cyberpunk Diablo. And it was made by a team of like 12 people. Really good game.
Don't die. You can't just come on here and die. I don't understand what you have going on over there. But like,
you smoking them tweets?
You just show up.
I'm trying to figure this out.
Figure it out quietly. You can't be over there dying.
Smoking them tweets.
You ain't allowed to die on this show.
I'm trying to figure out how to do remote play with the phone and Xbox Game Pass on the PC.
Anyway,
Jesus.
I don't have an Xbox controller either.
If you're gonna die quietly.
Damn.
I do not own an Xbox controller.
Because I've never owned an Xbox.
You don't.
Never.
Don't
never owned an Xbox.
No, don't be.
Bro, I told you this multiple times,
bro.
I have literally only played PC, PlayStation, Nintendo. I've never owned an Xbox.
What do you use?
You have a
to play
PlayStation?
games that require a controller on your PC.
Do you have a PlayStation?
I don't use a controller on my PC. I just use keyboard and mouse.
Token, do you have a PlayStation?
Oh,
Yes.
hold up.
In the other room?
No, the PlayStation's. Yeah, it is in the other room. I thought the controller was right here.
Grab your controller and hook it up to your PC like a big boy.
Token, let me get this straight.
Wait, okay, hold up.
So if you're playing a fighting game,
Keyboard and mouse.
and a keyboard and mouse,
Yeah.
what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why?
Because I may plug up. I may do the controller just for nostalgic purposes of feeling like when I was a kid. But also, the
bro
keyboard,
intentionally missed the Halo days. Wild.
I need you to.
keyboard was also nostalgic because me and my brother used to play fighting games on the computer, and he would have one half the keyboard and I'd have the other, and we play fighting games like that.
I'm
So
gonna need you to.
I'm accustomed to playing fighting games with a keyboard.
I was about to say I need you to record a video of like you doing a Hadouken with a keyboard just so we can hear you beat the hell out of your keyboard.
Yes, I have literally ruined.
Okay.
I've ruined keyboards
Hold
like
on.
that.
I hate
As
this
Loki
stuff.
said, shun him. Shun him.
I'm about to
Why?
hate myself.
Different folks.
I'm about to
Different
hate myself
folks for
bringing up
different
this
folks,
point,
dog.
but I guess technically you could kind of see it as a hitbox. Kind of.
No.
I'm just
No. Boo. Hiss. Go away.
Wait, Token.
Yeah.
So if you playing a racing game,
It's intervening. Lock it, Loki.
What?
Hadouken on the keyboard is crazy work.
He's like. I'm just imagining trying to do the motion on the arrow key. Like,
he's
like,
yourself.
yo, just give me. Hold up.
Yo,
He said the keyboard is gonna break your PC.
playing Street Fighter on a mouse and keyboard is like getting waterboarded.
Actually,
Oh my gosh.
Actually, I would rather be
I'll
waterboarded.
bet you $10 if you can do a Raging Demon on keyboard.
Oh god.
Wait, what?
I'll bet you $10 if you can do a Raging Demon on a keyboard.
The only thing that you can even
Bro, I'm gonna have to do
here's
it.
the thing.
I'm gonna have to
say
do
this. The only marginal advantage you might even have is with charge characters. That's it. Nothing else.
Bruh, okay, one of the reasons why I still play
Please tell
fighters
me how
on
you do a
keyboard-
Shoryuken.
Fingers gonna cross over.
Hey, as I
It's
say,
just gonna
when
be
you
like
can't
this,
interact,
right?
you
Use three fingers to do a Shoryuken.
very carefully. Right?
One of the reasons why I still play fighters on keyboard is because it wasn't.
And you
it's not
still do
just
it?
the fact
'Cause you
that-
hate
So now you're
Yeah.
asking for this.
Just hate yourself.
You're asking for this.
Bro, you know how many emulators?
No.
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 Bro, you gotta do
From
it
Neo
live.
Geo, even from Neo Geo and Kawaki.
Hey yo, she just said you gotta put a chiropractor appointment on layaway for her.
She's been carrying him.
Sheesh. Bruh, you are getting smoked today. You like that loud fact that you don't have over there.
I will give you the pass for back in the day, early days of emulators when there weren't really PC gaming controllers like that. I will give you
Right.
that.
Right.
But
I mean, but the thing is, even when we did have one, I didn't feel like mapping buttons for every other freaking game that I played. Screw it, keyboard.
It takes
done.
like 2 seconds.
I don't care.
You know you gotta mute the map the buttons even on keyboard and mouse with the emulator, right? Like
Because it was way easier, dog. It was way easier, dog.
Oh my god!
Way
My
easier.
stars and garters, I gotta press the button to map it. Like what are we talking about?
all I gotta do is here's the up and down and left and right. All
You
right.
can do that on
Here's
a
my
controller.
keys.
What are you talking about?
Wait, hold on. Here you go.
Yo, dog, you can literally do that on the controller. What the fuck are we talking about, bro?
Done. Bro, some of them, hey, I ain't gonna stunt. Some of them, I could just save a fucking profile and then upload it, and then boop.
You can do the same thing on controller.
I don't care. Okay, I don't care. And it may have something to do.
Your logic is not holding up, dog.
Wait. It may
My
have
boy has
something
never heard
to
of
do.
X-Patter in his life.
It may have something to do with the fact that like it wasn't. It might have been.
Lazy. That's what
No,
it has to
it
do
might
with.
have been something. It might have been something to do with like controllers breaking, often from like
Throwing them.
overuse.
You get keyboards don't.
Oh my
What?
god, Curbstop brought up a good point. They ain't no way you playing Tekken on a keyboard or mouse. When you gotta do them star motions,
Yo,
you ain't
dead ass.
You ain't doing that on a keyboard or mouse.
Hey, I ain't played Tekken in a while. I ain't gonna lie. I think most of the
Don't,
Street Fighter.
don't bother with King of Fighters. Don't bother with Tekken. Don't bother with Soul Calibur.
Street Fighter, Marvel vs. Capcom.
No, you better not never pick up
No,
Blaze
you are
Blue.
not playing on Marvel vs. Capcom on no Master Keyboard. Stop that. Stop the cap. Stop it. Stop it. No, you're not. No, you're
See,
not.
ladies and gentlemen, this has turned into let's get on Token today because Mr. Get Star over here just first of all some outlandish statements. Second of all,
I wanna go
what?
home.
What? I call cap.
I don't
Anyway,
even remember the last time
He
I played
said,
second game.
He said a
Nah.
mouse and keyboard is more sturdy than a control.
It lasted longer than the controller,
Stop.
or at least
Stop
a
it.
stick.
Stop
At
it.
least a
Okay.
stick.
Stop it.
hey Token, what's your keyboard look like right now?
Ain't it missing keys?
We can't see because your camera in.
Oops. My bad.
You would have been better
My
off just
bad.
holding it up. Probably.
My bad.
Yeah,
you
why
could've
didn't you
just-
just do that?
You could have literally just held it up and
I didn't think about that.
Oh my god!
Anyway.
So broken.
Anyway, Expedition 33 is a turn-based game. This is actually one of the turn-based games that this is actually one of the turn-based games that has come out in recent times in comparison to like others. Do you think that this was a mistake?
I may have
Because
truth.
so many people have said turn-based is dead.
No,
Is turn-based dead? Does this revive it?
I think it's helping to.
You think it's
agree.
what?
I think it's gonna help revive it.
I don't think it's dead, but like it's not something that you see possible.
I think this is gonna.
We've seen how your
draw
keyboard
more-
looks. Get a new one. Oh my god.
Oh look, you're back, Token.
I'm back. I goofed for a second, but I fixed it.
Yo, should
because I'm
beat
off.
up ass controller.
So now you're gonna hold up your keyboard?
Actually no, because I made it to. Hold on, I made that cord short as hell.
I know your
for-
keyboard beat up because we literally
reason.
heard your girl talk about she's gonna get you some new keys. It was missing.
Wait. No, I'm not missing keys. In my defense, I do wear my keys out sometimes, and also she's probably gonna try and buy me like Hello Kitty keys just because she likes to play.
You deserve it at this point. You deserve it at this
Streamlight
point.
Valley on my computer.
No, the
You
way
deserve it.
she
She
explained
uses
it,
my Xbox Game Pass too.
Cap, the way that she explained it was like your keys is broken off that keyboard.
His
They are
keys,
not
his
broken.
keys are
They're not
blank.
broken.
His
Yeah,
keys-
your keys is
Look,
all
look at them
broke off.
keys.
Bro,
Look at them
what
keys.
the fuck is that?
That's a lot of
Look at them keys. That is called
You
hard
can't even
bowling.
tell what keys those
He
are.
wore the black off the keys, bro.
That's all Call of Duty and League of Legends.
He wore the
Yeah.
black
You're not
off the
wrong.
keys.
You're not wrong. You're definitely not wrong.
Literally wore the
Brother,
black off the keys.
You have look at his space bar. You can see through his space bar.
Bro pressed the keys so much that they started coming transparent.
You know you gotta wash the grease off your fingers before you get on and start playing games, right?
Bro got keys with chicken grease.
You be eating Lay's potato chips before you start gaming, nigga?
Oh my god. WASD up out of here, bro.
Oh God.
Bro,
Oh my god.
bro.
Time, please clip some of
Oh,
this,
God.
please. I'm begging you. Please.
Oh my
clip
god.
this.
Time, we need this later, bro.
I need these in clips.
We need the keyboard reveal from Token. We need the
Oh
Token.
my god.
I promise.
That was. Hey,
Man does not turn left as much as he turns right.
Oh shit!
Hey, yeah. Oh God! Oh my God!
All right,
Yo,
Oh my fucking god!
You need a new table next.
yo, why you got the I just realized because that comment, you got the Derek Zoolander keyboard. You can't turn left.
Fucking blue steel ass keyboard.
Oh my gosh! Yo, he said you bleached the keys, Michael Jackson keys.
Bro, Michael Jackson keys.
Oh my God! God, neither.
Villa Lago keys. Villa Lago keys. Let's go,
Oh
baby.
my god.
Oh gosh.
Hey,
Okay.
my keys are trans.
It's the keyboard in the mirror.
My keyboard is trans. All right, leave it alone. I said it. Yep. Translucent.
Stupid. Stupid.
Motherfucker, them keys are transparent. Like you. They don't exist. I would not have known that there were keys there if they didn't have some black on them.
Them keys is fake because I can see right through them.
Hey. As long as
I
it's
didn't.
black.
It looks like
know
you're
it's
literally pressing the switches directly.
He might as well be.
Look, man,
Anyway.
I can't see the
Keys
switch.
for?
I can't see the switch though. I can see the switch.
You just popping keys off and just go raw dog on it. Damn, they're doing the same thing.
Don't tempt me. Don't
Stop.
tempt me. Don't
Stop.
tempt me.
Cut it out. Cut
Don't
it out.
tempt me.
Cut it out.
I'll live stream one day and like point this camera down
No.
and you watch me raw dog this keyboard.
No.
I'll do it.
He's gonna touch
No.
the switches raw, bare butt ass hands,
Yeah, raw.
with grease on them and shit.
Never mind.
Anyway,
Ew.
getting back on point.
Pause,
Now we're going to
bro.
talk about a little bit of how Expedition 33
I
makes
was
it.
gonna say I'll speed run too.
Again, we're going to talk about how Expedition 33 makes a statement at Ubisoft. So if we look at Ubisoft's most recent games, such as Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, Skull and Bones, even their latest Star Wars games, and the underperformance of these titles. So they've also had things like internal challenges, project cancellations, delays, workforce reductions. We're still waiting on a Prince of Persia game that was announced and never came out. We're still waiting on, I believe, it was Beyond Good and Evil. I believe.
That is never coming out.
But yet they say it's gonna come out sooner or later.
Why you gotta hurt me?
Huh?
Why you gotta hurt
You
me?
gotta hurt me.
I want that as much
just
as
saying.
anybody.
We have all of this that we have been told is coming from Ubisoft. We have all of these games that are in the pipeline. Ubisoft has been facing rising criticism. We talked earlier about how the company is potentially going to go under if Assassin's Creed Shadows did not perform how it was supposed to perform. Fortunately, Assassin's Creed Shadows actually performed. So with 30 people leaving Ubisoft, making their own studio, coming out with a game like Expedition 33 that has literally been said here tonight as GOTY material, Game of the Year material, could be an upset. That's a big statement. That tells me that you don't need a ton of money. That tells me that you don't need 7,000 employees. It tells me that you don't need 16 different studio locations. It tells me a lot. Because one company is out here failing while the other company is out here making bangers first time out. Getting Charlie Cox as their voice actor.
I don't know how. I want to know how they pulled that off.
Yeah, me too. I really want to know.
Yeah,
Like,
he's not
what
cheap.
what did you send him in the mail in
Y'all
the email?
blackmail Charlie Cox to be voice acting in the
And
game.
also, this is his first time doing video game voice acting. He's been doing what I've been playing so far. That's a really good job. He just switched to voice acting really well for just never doing it before.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And then on top of all of the things that I mentioned about Ubisoft before, you can't tell me that their gameplay don't have formulas, like predictable formulas.
Yeah.
You can't tell me that they don't lack a little bit of innovation. And then, the company even split off into two companies just so that they could, kind of maintain a status quo. They gave their biggest titles to a startup. They're 3 biggest titles to a startup.
Which is wild.
For the criticisms I have about Ubisoft, I am still gonna get that new Division 2 DLC when it comes out.
I was asked about it, but guess what? Division 2 is how many years old at this point?
I don't
Why
give a
are
damn.
y'all
I still
giving me a
love that game.
DLC for the Division 2 now?
I feel you. I get it. I still love that game, so I'm still gonna buy it.
I mean, I get it. I love the Division. I love the Division, but like you're giving me a DLC 9 years into the game.
But this is also the same company that has continuously supported For Honor, which I'm very shocked by.
See, there's a difference. They are not continuously supported in Division 2. What they're doing is they're giving you the Division 2 DLCs once every couple of years. With For Honor, they have continually provided updates and support.
But that's different though. Like, all right, so For Honor's like new characters, events, and all that sort of shit on a constant basis, right? I'm not gonna say that's easier to do, but that takes less time, I think, than putting out full PvE content that's supposed to last a couple of hours with loot systems, new gear sets, new gameplay mechanics and shit added into
story, new writing,
like the voice actors for the story too. All you have to do is get a couple people to do some voice lines of grunting and shit like that in For Honor.
Oops. There we go.
Come on, y'all know it's true. Come on, man. Like,
maybe.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's still a constant, thing that they have been putting into For Honor. Whereas, like, one could feel like the Division 2 hasn't been getting that same attention because, like I said, the game has gotten how many DLCs and how many years it's been out.
Well, apparently, it's still been getting constant.
Sure, it's been getting updates and touch-ups, but
they've been getting constant in-story events and shit like that. From what I've been paying attention to from the comment sections of like the new DLC, so they have been continuously updating it. I just haven't played it in a long time. I need to.
Okay. So, what do you think the systemic issues are that are contributing to Ubisoft struggles? Like, what do you think is going on within their company that's contributing to their struggles? Why can't they make a game like Expedition 33? Why couldn't they do it?
I don't think it's a matter if they couldn't do it. I think it's just a matter of they just didn't want to make a RPG, because a lot of people think RPGs are dead. It's a niche genre, right? That's like, let's be real. Turn-based RPGs are considered.
They made that Greek God game a couple of years back.
That's not a turn-based RPG.
It's literally like Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, but that's again
Phoenix Rising, Immortals.
Phoenix Rising, yes.
Yeah, Immortals. That was actually
Immortal. Yeah. So I'm saying,
like, with like Icarus or
RPG. Yeah, it's not turn-based, but like, what's stopping them from making?
What's stopping them from making something like Fair Secure? Again, I still think it's because turn-based RPGs are considered a niche genre. That might actually change now because
Ubisoft just had a drastic change in like the 2010s, because remember
Ubisoft is the only company with the same notorious glitches across all titles, characters sinking into the ground syndrome. Ubisoft too many cooks syndrome. They play too safe for investors, so no innovation.
Yeah.
And you're right, bro. Your keyboard has had enough.
The last turn-based RPG by Ubisoft was
Oh my god.
Last turn-based RPG was what?
That Ubisoft published was Child of Light. That was like 2010 or 2011.
Oh god, yeah, that was a long
time ago.
Very good game, but
I mean, they even still have the Rayman Rabbids games. They just did a Mario and Rabbids crossover.
The sequel like this came out like 2 years ago, year and a half ago.
Yeah, the Mario and Rabbids crossover.
I mean, those aren't turn-based; they're more tactical, but still.
They loves it.
I mean, they're fun, but
yeah.
But that was more. I don't think Ubisoft who developed that.
I wonder if they think it's a big risk to do that.
I don't understand.
As opposed to
Ubisoft did develop that. The Mario Rabbids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I wonder if it becomes a thing of like taking a risk, like a financial risk, as opposed to like, if you're an indie studio, you can do what the fuck you want. You don't have to worry about the risk. You put it out there, people like it, whatever. But if you put X amount of millions of dollars into a game at a big corporation, the investors are expecting some kickback. They're like, listen, better sell. Better sell. It better make them profit margins that I need to make. This is the goal. You need to hit this goal with that game. And so they be thinking like,
why you sound like
so they're thinking like, okay, well, why take the risk on something like this? It's very, I hate to say obscure. When the investors are going to be like, oh, this didn't reach the profit margins that we wanted. So.
2 questions. First question is, now that Expedition 33 is out, now that Expedition 33 is successful, now that they've seen what it can do you think Ubisoft is going to come out with something similar?
I can see them trying it because I can see them being spiteful. It's like, damn, we could have had that. And then why can't we do it now?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Second, do you think we're going to see more games with that same combat style system?
I think more so for the industry itself. Yes, I would. First off, listen.
We.
I'm gonna need Sony.
All right, Curb Stomp, you're right. What makes turn-based games niche is a lack of good story and gameplay mechanics. Persona 5 ate for years and had 3 relaunches, expansions, and spin-offs. I agree because I've purchased Persona 5 twice, and I've put probably 250 hours into Persona 5. Still ain't beat the game.
Aesthetics too. Let's keep it a buck here too. Aesthetics is another big selling point to that as well too. Like,
but Atlas has a formula too.
Persona had that whole anime look, so that was like enough for people to go. Oh hell yeah, I fuck with that.
But again, Atlas has a formula too. Persona and Shimigamis, Shimigamis, and even Metaphor. But right now we're literally sitting here comparing.
It's got the Atlas
indie turn-based game to an Atlas game. That's not crazy.
Atlas has it. Atlas has their specific signature art style that is across every single game. Hell, even when they did like the Devil Trigger designs for Devil May Cry 3, it still had the Atlas designs to it.
Yeah. So how does this success reflect on Ubisoft's current direction?
I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see like former board members that laid off Expedition 33 team gets fired.
Yeah, I would fire him.
That's crazy.
I would fire them.
Yo, I'm sorry, you can't be in a position to determine whether games are coming out or what to green light or red light certain projects if you let this talented team go and they make a game of the year fucking contender on their first time out.
Yeah. No,
like that shows you don't like. That shows you have a massive disconnect with your own company, what business you're in, and you don't understand what is going to make your company money.
I think if Expedition 33 is nominated for Game of the Year, you're going to see some shaking up in the industry overall.
It's going to get nominated.
There are a couple of different things that could potentially get nominated. I definitely can see it being nominated for Indie Game of the Year and winning.
It'll definitely get nominated for RPG of the Year.
RPG of the Year, I can see it going for as well.
Yeah, because like the other big titles we got this year, besides GTA 6, you got Doom Eternal in a couple weeks. I'm not saying it's gonna be a Game of the Year nominee. But
upcoming or already out as well, because you still got Assassin's Creed came out this year.
I'm sorry, Doom Dark Age. That comes out in 2 weeks.
You still had Assassin's Creed. You still had a Monster Hunter. You still had a GTA 6. You talking like Expedition 33 beating major competition.
What else?
As much as I enjoy Shadows, I don't know if it's gonna get nominated for Game of the Year.
Schedule 1 is probably gonna be a big upset.
That's Indie Game of the Year.
Yeah, so now those two are competing.
We also got Lost Soul Aside coming out in a couple weeks.
Is that actually finally coming out?
Yeah,
I've been watching that game for like 7 years.
Bro, I remember following it when it was just the one guy designing it.
Yeah, that's May.
When he got picked up by Sony?
May 30th. And then you also got that's crazy. Elden Ring, Night Rain, and Lost Soul Aside come out the same day.
There's so much stuff coming out, bro.
And then you got all the Switch 2 stuff coming out, and then you got Metroid Prime 4 at some point this year. Like, a lot of stuff coming out.
Oh, there's so much stuff. And we still don't have GTA 6 yet. And that's coming out this year.
Borderlands got moved up, so that I think is coming out September 20th.
I don't want to hear.
You got Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta.
I don't want to hear nobody complaining about games.
We got a new Metal Gear Solid before we got GTA 6.
I just realized something. Isn't
I mean, we technically did that with the Phantom Pain that came out after GTA 5.
Death Stranding 2 is coming out this year too, right?
That's in a couple weeks too.
What?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh, there's too many games this year.
I'm sorry, that's June. I forgot they got pushed back slightly. That's just June.
Too many games, bro. There's
So,
too many games.
Do you think that large studios can recapture the creativity and agility of the smaller teams? Like, can they make something that this creative, or do they have to stick with those large, those formulas that they know have sold?
I'm gonna tell you how you do it. Make the budget much smaller. Stop spending big bloated budgets on games, because we know we've talked about this ad nauseum of how bloated these game budgets are. Get a smaller team, smaller budget.
Make the games cheaper.
Make the games cheaper.
Yeah, Expedition Oblivion Remaster $50, even without Game Pass.
Yeah.
And the reason that Expedition 33 was $50 because everybody thought it was a lie. And we actually got a quote. We didn't get a quote because obviously we're not big enough to talk to them. But there was actually a quote from the developers that said that the $50 price tag was real because they wanted the game to be as accessible as possible. $50 is an accessible price tag because people were comfortable paying $50.
Yeah. Take notice, billion-dollar fucking corporations.
Nintendo. Nobody wants games at 80. We want them at $90.
No. Physical 90. Let's get back to that. Physical is 90.
These nuts is 92.
You ain't that old, goddamn.
Man got a condition where only his nuts aged.
Absolutely. Double my age. Screw it.
Benjamin Button Balls.
Anyway, so all right. What gives the smaller companies the ability to make great games like this with a smaller budget? You would think throwing more money means that you can, make something better.
The thing what it makes all these smaller studio indie AA, whatever you fuck you want to call it, is you can actually tell there's. I don't want to be like there was no passion in like Assassin's Creed Shadows. Obviously there was, but like this seems like a passion project, and it kind of comes out. You feel like you're playing with the music, the acting, the design. You can tell like this was like somebody's like started sketching this. Like I want to turn this to a game, and then. Bam! That's what happened. They were probably sketching this when they were working at Ubisoft. And it's always an idea they wanted to do, and Ubisoft would have never let them do it.
You want to hear what I think? Of course you do. I think that this was actually pitched at Ubisoft and turned down.
Yep, I can see that 100%.
I think that this game was actually pitched.
We have an idea for a game. They're just like, nope.
It's like that's great. That's great.
Sorry to our French audience.
He's like, I got this idea for a really great game. That's great. How are the new assets coming along for Assassin's Creed and Far Cry?
Get back to work.
What's that new DLC for Rainbow Six looking like? You got the new characters yet?
I guess balls.
I got this RPG. No. We need the RPG. Yo, ass out my office with that dumb idea.
Like that's adorable. That's great.
100 Star are a new company that are ex-Rocksteady, where the focus on the new AAA games. Look into them.
What?
That's what Shmoney said in the chat. 100 Star. Supposedly, it's a new company that is ex-Rocksteady.
100 Star Games. Yep, Rocksteady.
I think they're working on a new Batman game.
Company. 100 Star Games.
Curb stomp. If it doesn't have enough glitches, get it the fuck out of here.
I would still say, in my opinion, I think
a glitch-free Ubisoft game. That's crazy, bro. That would be wild.
Wait, what?
A glitch-free Ubisoft game.
Yeah, a glitch-free fucking Bethesda game. That'd be incredible. That shit does not exist.
Maybe Oblivion doesn't have any glitches.
Actually, I have not run into a glitch in Oblivion Remastered yet. In the first 2 hours I played it, I was shocked. I was like, "Wow, look at y'all!"
I was surprised with that because, listen, I played Avowed, but once I fell through the world, I was just like, I think I'm gonna put this on the back burner.
Good on this.
That out. I was just like,
you see, you can't do that because what if I did that my first run of Cyberpunk? Because I don't think I ever told the story. Literally, first 20 minutes of Cyberpunk. I started as a nomad. I meet Jackie, get the package. I walk out of the little hut you meet him in. I step down off the step. My character fell and died. There was no fighting or anything at that point. I literally walked out the door just like little last save point. I'm like, yo, you died just from walking in this game?
Oblivion remake is littered with glitches. Okay. I believe it. You gotta reload to get quests to proc sometimes. All right, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, I've heard about countless glitches. I just got lucky those first 2 hours. I mean, I'm sure I'm gonna run into whenever I get back to it. I'm gonna run into.
Oh, we assure you, there's gonna be a glitch that you run into. You can be like, it is Bethesda.
He's like, that's the Bethesda. No, like you tried to trick me, making me think you made good. No,
they're not it. We're not expecting a flawless game.
So before we go, right? I want to know the future of gaming. Is it with AAA or is it with indie?
It's with Mega Man X9.
Remember, that's a AAA game, bro. Capcom.
Honestly,
Capcom
we never get in that game.
Capcom sell Mega Man. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of nonsense. Why else take Mega Man?
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine, right? Imagine we were a game studio. You wanted to make Mega Man X9. I mean, there is that one Mega Man knockoff game that didn't do well.
Mighty Number 9. Oh,
we don't talk about that game.
That was an indie.
And then he wanted to make a Mega Man Legends spin kind of Red Ash.
Red Ash, yeah.
Yikes.
But then, like, Mighty Number 9 wasn't doing well, and then he was just like, "Oh, here's a Patreon for the animated series." It's like
finish one game first.
So, are we looking at our industry moving towards the indie side, or are we looking at continuing on with our AAAs and kind of getting a little sprinkle of something good?
I feel like the Titanic franchises are never going to change, like your Call of Duties and like stuff like that.
Your Battlefield gets worse and worse every time it comes out, and yet.
But I feel like we're hopefully going to start getting like more risky games.
Yeah.
More creative games.
More risk.
Yeah, like more risk, more creativity, just not the same chopping block stuff over and over again.
Maybe that's the reason why people say good games don't exist anymore, because
they don't play. Those motherfuckers who say that don't play games.
Well, think about it. If you keep getting the same thing over and over again, how many times you gonna feed me chicken before I'm tired of chicken?
But again,
you can dress chicken up however you want. You can give me honey chicken, lemon pepper chicken. You can give me grilled chicken, fried chicken. You can give me chicken a la mode. You can give me chicken pasta. It don't matter. It's all chicken. How many times you gonna give me chicken before I'm done with chicken?
Listen. Them people that say that don't actually play games, because I have no problem finding a shit ton of games to play all the time. If you have a hard time finding games, it's on you. No one else. It's not the games. The games exist. They all out there. They're all over Steam. They're all over PSN. You can go get a Game Pass where you can just play games for like $10. If you have a problem in 2025 finding a game to play, stop playing games then. It's not the games.
Coop had a good point, because he says single player indie games are king right now. But to be honest, AAA got the multiplayer in the chokehold because of the amount of staff that it takes to make them and maintain.
That is true. Yes.
Yeah.
The resources that it requires to keep them running. I agree. Even games like Destiny and Call of Duty, like, even if you feel like those games would be considered quote unquote low effort, they don't, like, an indie studio just can't keep up with that bandwidth.
They retain the player base.
No, even just the bandwidth required to keep the servers going and keep constant updates pushed out.
You need server space.
I'll never get tired of chicken. Just all right. That's fair. I need a little bit of variety in my proteins, but
we got variety. It's just that y'all don't be seeking that. Y'all want these games literally just shoved in front of your fucking face, as opposed to actually maybe having to do work and looking up what you want to play, or just browsing through shit. Not y'all, not our audience.
That's what I'm like. Not y'all.
Not
like,
y'all.
The other y'alls.
Because clearly, if you're watching us, you actually play games.
Or you just want to know about games, or you just want to support it. Because there are people who watch us that don't play games at all, which is why we explain things the way that we do.
That's true.
I've had people say that they've watched us and they've learned stuff.
I'm just saying, I'm tired of hearing people talking about like, not enough games, no games play. It's like, bro, I got so many games I literally can't finish all of them. Like, what are we talking about?
I don't finish almost any of them.
And they're great games. Like,
I don't have enough hours in the day.